Okay, let's do a shoulder deep dive. Okay. And I was going to say, because everybody has shoulders, but everybody has all these body parts, but shoulders are really a thing that can be a little confusing. They can be a little like, what do I do if my shoulder hurts? What if it's not my shoulder? What if it's like down here when I lift up? What if it feels pinchy in here? What if it just feels like, what about that horrible thing I've heard about rotator cuff tears or frozen shoulders, or I mean, you name it. We might worry about it if our shoulder hurts, right? But the shoulder is a little bit of a complex thing because it's a ball and socket joint, just like the hip. But if we can break it down into what it's meant to do and what it's designed to do, we can keep these things really healthy. Okay. But we have to be using the whole joint in how we're moving, training, working on our mobility, working on our strength, working on even balance. Like shoulders even have lots to do with balance. So we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into the shoulder. Okay. And the really interesting thing, the most interesting thing I think there is about the shoulder is the shoulder blades. Okay. Those wings that we have on our backs. All right, because each shoulder blade is like not even as big as my whole hand, but there are 17 muscles that attach to each one of those things. So if we think about the anatomy when we're working on our bodies and we're trying to be healthy and we're trying to keep moving for a long time, and it's helpful to know a little bit about the design of the body, right? So if these floating bones, these wings, have 17 muscles attached to each of them, that means they're designed to do a lot of things. It also means that what we do in our modern day lives is a lot of looking down, is a lot of forward, is a lot of shoulders rolled in. And so, if you can imagine this really cool tensional system of all these muscles attaching to the backside of the shoulder blade, the edges of the shoulder blade, the backside of the outside of the shoulder blade, the inside, all of it. Okay. If you can imagine, if we're sort of down like this a lot, then some of those 17 muscles are going to live a little bit in a longer state. Some of them are going to live a little bit more in a shorter state. And then we just go and we like swing a golf club, or we work in the garden for 25 hours in a row, or well, not that many, hopefully, but you know what I mean. Gardeners like to garden. Okay. Or we go and play tennis and we haven't warmed up. We just been sitting all day. Okay. That's sort of a recipe for trouble. All right. So the great news is it's not that hard to move the shoulders in all the ways that we need to move them to keep them healthy and allow us to do all these cool things that we like to do. And there's gonna be a separate video on what I would say are the three key motions that everybody should be doing to keep their shoulders healthy, to get their shoulders healthy if we have a problem, and to be able to reach and just do the things that we want to do and play and have fun and work and do all that stuff throughout our whole lives. And those three things, and again, we're going to do another video, but these are really important things. We reach and we pull. Okay. And so in the video where we're going to talk about how to work these things real easily on a daily basis, we're going to be doing reach, pull, okay, in different angles, different directions. The shoulders, the other really important thing is to be able to lift things overhead. So we're going to combine that with some balance. We're going to do some cool things with that. The other is our swinging, the swings in all these different directions. Okay. And so if we are doing those things on a regular basis, we're going to have really healthy shoulders and we're going to be able to avoid some arthritis. We're going to be able to create more space in that joint. A joint is just a space between two bones. Okay. And so if we're like this and we're not doing what the shoulder's meant to do by the reach, pull, the lifts, and the swings, then that space gets smaller and smaller. And that's called arthritis. That's called impingement. Okay. And so if there's not enough space between those bones, then we wear away the cartilage in different places. That's arthritis. Then we get extra bone buildup and bone spurs and really uncomfortable things. The other thing that happens is we get pinching happening. Okay. So if we're swinging Okay, that ball and socket, I should go this way. If we're swinging in a ball and socket joint and we're moving all around, then if we're tight, if we have those muscles that some are living in that short state, some are living in that longer state, we're going to get pinching happening instead of nice smooth gliding happening. Okay, so let's do a deep dive into the shoulder. That's just a little bit on the anatomy. We'll do another video with some pictures of the anatomy, but let's just start there. Let's have this in our minds. We're going to have really good, healthy, strong, mobile shoulders. Okay.